Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. This is USS Nimitz. And she's about to die. She just doesn't know it yet. That's courtesy of two Soviet submarines which have gone rogue. The K-448 and the K-388. These are both Victor III class boats. Their skippers did not agree with the fact that the Soviet Union is starting to dissolve. So in order to steer politicians into a different direction, they have taken it upon themselves to sink a US carrier battle group. And we now know pretty well what's what. There's the Nimitz, the Bunker Hill, the California, the Sacramento, the Long Beach, and the Spruance. This is the Briscoe, by the way. The Detroit, the Long Beach herself, the Nimitz, of course, the California, and the actual Bunker Hill. I'm surprised by a notable lack of frigates. I don't know exactly why that's the case, but okay, here we are. As for the plan, I have drawn a couple of lines here, and this is to figure out what's the sort of, let's say, meeting point between these submarines. So if I'm shooting with each submarine, it's going to be about 17 to 18 miles to when that formation gets here. 388 slightly closer in, so I'm going to adjust the 448's position. And while I have range on them by now, 35 miles, I'm actually going to wait. My objective, I feel, should not be to sink the carrier. Yes, she's the ultimate prize, but she's not the goal. The goal is Bunker Hill, California, and Long Beach. Once those ships are done, the hammer can rain down from the Krasnoyarsk. This is an Oscar II boat from 1990s, and she's armed with 24 shipwrecks. Possibly she's capable of raiding, or just, well, destroying the whole group itself. But this is a 1989 VLS refit from the Americans. And I don't know if I can beat that many missiles. So that's why I'm thinking I'm going to take out the cruisers and make sure that the air defense is substantially diminished before even considering sinking the aircraft carrier. If you really want to, you can go a different direction and go, no, I'm actually going to torpedo the carrier and call it a day. But there is an optional objective, so to speak, which says you need to sink the whole lot. So that's what we'll do. As for the tail of the Krasnoyarsk, there was a Los Angeles trailing her. I don't know where that boat went. So I've decided to change course, increase to 15 knots, and just kind of be gone. I haven't actively pinged anymore as I did in part 1, so I'm just riding away and making sure that I don't get within minimum launch range here, which for these missiles is 50 miles. If you get closer than that, they will not launch. So actually I need to be heading away east. Because, actually no, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Now, launch range is going to be about 15 to 16 knots. I have more on these ASUW torpedoes, but I still want to give them plenty of run time. And of course, I can also start throwing in physics. The secondary option, which are also pretty potent torpedoes. These things travel at 50 knots. These things also travel at 50 knots, but they have even more oomph. It's a 650mm versus a 533. Between the armaments of these two submarines, I can probably sink the whole lot. I might not need the firepower from the Oscar, but the Oscar is just fun to use. So there is that. Now you're running way below the layer. You're running, I think, above the layer? Yes. Oh, there is a Perry. The Aubrey Fitch. Okay, 388 has her figured. Which is surprising, because she's the one below the layer. Bunker Hill is getting picked up by 448. Range to the Bunker Hill, about 23.5 miles. This is going to be fun. Of course, the enemy is dropping sonobuoys. They are actively looking for me. According to the Steam page, there is like an S3 Viking patrol out there. But, you know, it's not easy for the AI to actually do any anti-submarine warfare options. They're just not good at it. Nor do I ever think they'll get good at it, because it's such a complex matter. So they can just pave the whole way with sonobuoys, and that ought to pick up my submarines. It ought to. I'm going to be as quiet as I can, so I'm just going to go all stop. Just let them come to me. They're moving anyway. And at 20 knots, they're going to be potentially struggling to pick up any noise whatsoever. 20 miles, 27 to Long Beach. I've lost the carrier. That's fine. I think her towed array is not going to be very useful now. Does she even stream it? No, she hasn't streamed it, because it's no longer useful. The alternative option, by the way, is to use the calibers. These are anti-ship missiles. You would just have to time it so that they all arrive at the same time. Which is not easy. I think the shipwrecks wait for each other, but these calibers might not. So I think torpedoes are just a safer option, because they don't get shot down, as opposed to, for example, those calibers. Okay, you're actually a bit closer, 17 miles, 17 and a half. So you're gonna have to shoot first. I'm gonna start shooting now, and I'm gonna shoot south first, and then head east, south first, head west. Here goes. I only got 2 of these big tubes. 1, 2. Send both. They are wire guided, so it's all fine. 1, 2. And then I still have 4 533mm torpedoes at the ready. Or rather, tubes at the ready, I should say. Yeah, they're coming to me. Send 3. Hold 1 for a snapshot. Opening 3 tubes. 1. 2. And 3. And now we wait. The plan here is that they're going to start figuring out, okay, we are under attack. And they'll shoot back towards the east, they'll shoot back towards the west, and neither of the submarines will actually be at risk. That's the way I intend to play this. It is tricky, however, you gotta be patient. You just gotta let the torpedoes cruise for now. It's very tempting to just right-click, but if they shoot back along that axis, they might find the 388 on the other end. Not good. Given the amount of torpedoes I have in the water, I might have overspent. But it's fine. Range to the submarine. 3 miles. Start changing. You're one of the UGSTs. So, you're one of the physics. That makes you a carrier killer. And you. I suspect we'll see the whole damn fleet light up. Everybody's gonna suddenly panic. It's fine. Because that's why I have this extra runtime on all the weapons. So that they have the opportunity to panic, so to speak. What I could have also done, by the way, is just have the 388 shoot, but shoot northwest. And then attack south. They'll turn around and then run into the torpedoes, which were launched from 448, heading south, turning north. This way, though, I think it will work. So we should be fine. You're a DST, so you're a carrier killer. Lock onto that. You're gonna go for the Long Beach. As tough as it is. You're gonna go for Nimitz. You're gonna go for California. You're gonna go for Long Beach. I don't care about the Sacramento. That supply ship is not a priority. You're gonna go for Bunker Hill. I also want to carry a killer torpedo on Bunker Hill. Too big of a threat to let live. Gotta be sure. The weapon seeker on this one is weird. It's pointing the wrong way. So I don't know if that'll work as advertised. Range, 6 miles. I can also reload the tubes and shoot again in a minute. Which will add more mayhem to these waters. Now they know. No, actually, sorry, that's a... I picked up a new contact. Usually that's a noisemaker. This time around it is not. California is still unaware. Do you not have a towed array? No, you don't. You got a hull-mounted sonar. Bunker Hill should have a towed. Yeah, they got a towed array. They're just not using it. Dumb. I hear active pings, though. Yeah, she's pinging. Good on her. Although it might not do enough to save you. First victim's about to get hit. California. Two and a half miles out. Oh, this torpedo's deep. 1120. It's adopted the depth of the launcher. I hope that they're actually going to point up. Otherwise, they might just sail past harmlessly. Why are you changing your course? Now they know. Noisemakers. Now they know. So we're probably going to see these ships turn around hard, trying to immediately escape and make sure that they either serve as a distraction or get out of the way completely. But they're in a bit of a catch-22 here, because if they do change their course, the Nimitz is the next best thing I can hit. California heading west. Well, you can head west all you wish, but there's a next line of torpedoes. Nimitz hasn't changed her course yet. That's not advisable. This one's changing depth, this one is not. I'm thinking those DSTs, those carrier killers, might not work. I can still tell it to turn. Oh, hold on. It's actually locked on now. So the weapon seeker cone might just be weird. Bunker Hill, heading west at 30 knots. Sorry to say, but that's not necessarily your best course of action. You don't even know where to go. You're heading south-ish? Southeast? Course 122, 123. I see a surface ship. 0.22, 0.17, 16, 14, 13, 12. I need to zoom out more. There's gonna be a hell of a blow. Boom. That was one torpedo on the California. But the second one is already on the way. Unfortunately, it's locked on. And because it's locked on, I can't change its course anymore. Okay, so carrier killers work very well against surface ships. You're gonna bypass the Bunker Hill. You. Go for Nimitz. Nimitz is still just ignoring everything. This is already an important kill. Important missile cruise that we eliminated there with a 1986 refit. Bunker Hill's changing course again. With all the noise from the torpedoes, I'm losing tracks on targets here. Yeah, you're gonna get hit by a torpedo. Let's go chase that carrier. 7067, that's the ship. Or a ship. Once that's Bruins. Go get it. Long Beach is about to meet her demise. Torpedo is acquired. Second torpedo is acquired. Noisemaker's not going to save you. This is almost a foregone conclusion. Is that a refit? Yeah, it's the 1983 version. All that gear and nothing can save you. Tough. Oh, we've hit the Nimitz. Excellent. She's losing speed. And she appears to be on fire. Excellent. This one's gonna blow up the Long Beach. Probably wreck it. Seeing the amount of explosive power in that torpedo. Where's that other ship at? You're heading east. Course 116. Here comes the second torpedo to finish off the Long Beach. Noisemakers, yeah, right. Goodbye, Long Beach. Okay, so that's 2 out of 3 missile cruisers out of the fight. And that's really bad news for the Americans. Because with those ships gone, they're going to find themselves pretty much at the mercy of the Krasnoyarsk and all of her missiles. I do have to figure out where everything is, because I don't really know. Okay, we're above the layer. We don't even know where the Nimitz is anymore. You. Go hunt something. Something that's kicking out noisemakers. Nimitz should be... Oh, here you are. Hello, Bunker Hill. That's the carrier killer. Go for the Bunker Hill. Try locking onto something. Now it's autonomously searching. Hasn't found anything. But you have. There's Nimitz. She's restored propulsion. She's put out the fire. Her flight deck and stern look a bit mangled. But one torpedo will not finish her. There goes the Ticonderoga. Oh, sorry, Bunker Hill. Go get him. Yep, it's quiet. Down here we're still hunting some other ships. One's going for the Perry. The other one's going for Spruance. And there goes the next torpedo. That's Bunker Hill out of the fight. Good. 3 cruisers gone so far. That's the Sacramento, I think. That's that supply ship. Yep, we've acquired the Nimitz. I don't understand why Nimitz isn't turning around. Everybody else around her is dying. There's the half-dead Ticonderoga, sorry, Bunker Hill. Yeah, she's just... yeah. Bit of an AI letdown here. I wonder how much damage this is going to do to a carrier. I know it's carrier killers. So let's see if they can actually do as advertised. Once again, she seems to be losing steam. What's the situation down here? You're chasing the Spruance. You're almost there, and the Spruance is running along with the Perry. There's almost going to be a simultaneous takedown here. Boom. Boom. That's the Perry and the Spruance, most likely gone. Perry confirmed eliminated. So much for the Aubrey Fitch. Spruance class is probably badly injured. And not likely to be a factor in this fight anymore. Okay. Do I really need to hit them with the shipwrecks? Because there isn't anything to shipwreck. No, you're not a Belknap, you're the Sacramento. I can let you live to tell the tale. Give me a carrier killer, shoot. Oh, hold on. She just lost all propulsion again. Shoot west. Then we're gonna take that torpedo and take it south. These things cannot engage submarines. But I don't want to take any chances here. Burning ships in the background. The Spruance and the Perry, I imagine. Spruance and Perry are both sinking right next to each other. Yep. It's the fate of the Americans. They didn't actually do anything wrong, the Americans. But, you know, we gotta send a message to the politicians somehow. I want you to slow down and figure out if you can still figure the location of that Los Angeles. Where is the LA? Nimitz appears to be slightly tilted. She's got propulsion. Okay. Ah, there's Sacramento. Right on cue. Since there's nobody actually capable of shooting back, I'm just gonna shoot right from my passive stationary location. No. Your objective is slightly farther afield. Locked on. Oh boy. This one on the starboard side bow. So this has been her third encounter with a torpedo. And by the looks of it, her last. The American carrier is sinking. We've done it. Now, can we sink all the other Americans, or shall we try to sneak away? Well, have I got news for you. I think there's only one LA that's currently surviving the battle. And I don't really feel like chasing a submarine somewhere in that 50-mile radius. So I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is sink this supply ship, Detroit, and pretty much call it a day. Because that ought to be the end of the American task force. Although these things displace quite a bit. 53,000 tons. One carrier is a bit more. At what, 70,000? No, this might not cut it. 100,000 tons. Goodbye. You still have propulsion? Oh, your port side prop's still working. Okay. Caliber's not in range. Too close. Give him a physic. We'll show him some physics. Just not the way that they had imagined. I wonder what other assets the Americans had out there, because every once in a while when I was looking at the ships like that, well, not strictly like that, they were still afloat, they had helicopters coming and going, so they did drop sonobuoys. They did try something. But other than that, you know, it's just very straightforward. Hey, we found you! We found you! You're 29 miles out. Oh. Okay. Sacramento, how are you doing? You've actually restored speed. We did sink the whole carrier group. What a great day for the motherland. This will show our people how the mighty Soviet Navy really is. Sorry, how mighty the Soviet Navy really is. And that we should not throw away our might. Onwards, comrades. Onwards. Because onwards means that there is a part 2 to this mission. There's a sequel, so to speak. And I look forward to playing that. I'm going to proclaim victory right here. I'm going to say we did a very good job with our stationary submarines. Well, with the weapons that these guys carry, it was almost a foregone conclusion. And some of these ships are dangerous. I mean, the Bunker Hill and California and Long Beach combined should have been able to stop that missile strike. So you don't hit the enemy where they're strongest, you hit them where they're weakest. Which means you attack them with underwater weapons. And that's what these gentlemen did, aboard the K-388, the K-448, and to some extent the Krasnoyarsk, although she didn't actually do that much. Now, thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you soon for the sequel to this video.